Wait, what do you mean it's already been a year? Hi there. So it's been exactly 2 years since I started learning Japanese. I have already covered the first year in the previous part, so I recommend watching it first if you haven't. And in that same video, I set 2 goals for the second year. Let's see if I fulfilled them. Stay tuned. So the second year was mostly about polishing and maintaining what I had already learned in the first year. Honestly, there is not much stuff to tell in this video as most of the interesting details was covered in part 1. What I mostly did is just immerse, review cards in Anki, immerse some more, review some more, and basically repeat the loop. In the previous part, I mentioned that I had spent a rough total of 56 hours on immersion. This year, as I'm writing the script, the total time is 153 tracked hours and roughly 20 untracked hours. That's a triple of what I had a year ago. And if I also include the time spent in Anki, it becomes around 294 hours spent on learning Japanese in total. Not gonna lie, it could have been more, but I'm still satisfied with the results. Anyways, the first goal I set was finishing off Core 2K 6K. It's a pretty popular deck that contains 6,000 most common Japanese words, and I had been using it since pretty much the very start of my journey. It was the fastest goal to accomplish, as on July 13th, 2025, I had learned every single word that's in the deck. Nowadays, I mostly just review all of that vocabulary to ensure that it stays in my memory, but I am considering eventually graduating from it. Even though I have like 30 to 40 reviews daily on average, which is relatively low, I still have to show off for Anki every single day, which is very exhausting mentally. And the second goal was passing JLPT N2, or at least getting close to it. That one was really interesting and concerning to me at the same time because I was worried that I may have raised my expectations too high. So in order to find out, I'm gonna do a mock test. はい、どうも、shikoshibです。今日はですね、日本語能力試験 N2 を受験していきたいと思います。はい、じゃあ行きましょうか。Well, I genuinely didn't expect to perform so well, at least compared to N3, which I took in part 1. N2 had more tasks and obviously more difficult ones, but even with that, I managed to get less fails than on N3. And when I was reading texts or doing listening tasks, I felt like Japanese as a language finally started clicking for me. I feel like these 2 years didn't go to waste. So, in conclusion, learning Japanese has been a really fun experience thus far. I managed to watch a lot of great content and really push myself in the process. Japanese is now my third language, though I don't really feel like going for any more in the future. And I also think this would be the last video regarding learning Japanese, as doing any more parts wouldn't really bring anything new. I'm still going to keep learning though, as I genuinely don't regret any single bit of it. And that wraps up the video. If you enjoyed it, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. また今度ね。